Reverend Dr. George Campbell Morgan was a British evangelist, preacher, a leading Bible teacher, and a prolific author. He was a contemporary of great preachers such as D. L. Moody, Rodney Gypsy Smith, Martin Lloyd Jones, etc. Morgan preached his first sermon at the age of 13. Dr. Morgan had four sons, and they all became very good preachers. A visitor once came into their drawing room when all the family members were gathered. The visitor turned to Howard, one of the sons, and asked him, "Who is the greatest preacher in your family?" Dr. Morgan, the father, by then was attracting large crowds wherever he preached and was a renowned preacher. Howard had a great admiration for his father, but Howard surprised everyone present there when, without a moment's hesitation, answered, "Mother." Proverbs 31:28 says, "Her children rise up and call her blessed." Today's meditation is a tribute to mothers. We will consider here the contribution of mothers in the spiritual development of their children and even grandchildren. A mother's influence on her children is significant. It is captured by the words of an unknown author. Quote, "When we read the life of Nero, the brutal tyrant that he was, we are not surprised that his mother was a murderess. When we read the life of Augustine, who became saint, we are not surprised that his mother was a woman of prayer." Unquote. St. Paul writing to Timothy in 2 Timothy 1:5, "I am reminded of your sincere faith, which first lived in your grandmother Lois and in your mother Eunice, and I am persuaded now lives in you also." These words highlight the influence of Lois and Eunice in shaping Timothy's faith. They were women who were faithful in teaching and training their son and grandson in the truth of the scriptures. Lois and Eunice may have thought they were only raising a child, but what they did was create a legacy. Timothy would go on to be one of the most notable and recognizable workers in the church who had earned the love, respect, and admiration of Paul. In a tribute to his mother, John Wesley said, "I learned more about Christianity from my mother than from all the theologians of England." And listen to what Abraham Lincoln said about mothers: "No man is poor who has a godly mother." There is a Jewish proverb: "God could not be everywhere, and therefore he made mothers." Here are some more Bible verses about mothers. Proverbs 31:10, "A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies." And Proverbs 31:31, "Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise." George Owen relates this incident in the life of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was well known for total abstinence from alcohol. According to one well known story, he was once offered a drink by a colonel in the military. Lincoln responded by telling the man that when his mother was on her deathbed, she had summoned him as a 9-year-old boy and asked for his promise that he would never take a drink. He then said, "I promised my mother that I never would, and up to this hour I kept that promise. Would you advise me to break that promise?" The colonel replied, "No, Mr. Lincoln, I wouldn't have you do it for the world. It was one of the best promises you ever made. I would give $1,000 today if I had made my mother a promise like that and had kept it as you have done." I end with the words of Strickland Gilliland. "You may have tangible wealth untold, caskets of jewels and coffers of gold. Richer than I you can never be. I had a mother who prayed for me." Amen.